I kind of felt, hey, second fiddle. But again, this was, about my life, and I demanded that I was going to get answers.
Thank you, Mr. Russell. I have nothing further.
Ms. Brazil, thank you. Cross-examination, please. Mr. Chernoff, do you need a moment?
No, I don't. Thank you. Mr. Russell, how are you?
Very well, sir.
My name's Ed Chernoff. I represent Dr. Murray. We haven't met, have we?
No, sir.
We haven't spoken or anything like that?
No.
Okay. Your relationship with Dr. Murray, was it unlike any relationship you had had with the doctor before?
Yes.
Would it be fair to say you were friends with Dr. Murray?
As friendly as could be between a doctor and a patient in that short period of time. Yes.
What was different about your relationship with Dr. Murray than other doctors that you've had?
And Dr. Murray got after me when I wanted to leave the hospital after my procedure. I had no idea how sick I was, and he was quite pointed, quite animated in telling me that I was literally minutes from being dead, and if I didn't follow his advice, that's what I was faced with. He gave me advice on exercise, on eating, and, just how to live my life, doing away with the pressure and stress that I felt like I had thrived in the business world. I needed that pressure, and when I say he saved my life, I would more so than from the treatment with what he did for me mentally, the advice he gave me saved my life.
He's sort of a spiritual guy, isn't he? I mean, he's sort of a...
We never discussed anything of a spiritual or religious nature.
I don't mean religious. I mean he's a caring doctor.
I could leave a message at his office, and he would take the time to call me at home and spend 15 minutes with me on the phone, alleviating my fears, answering my questions. Hey, am I doing too much time on the treadmill? Can I lift weights, as an example? And he took the time to give me that personal attention.
When you would come to visit him in the doctor's office, did you meet with him personally?
Yes, when I had a scheduled appointment with him, yes.
And he would take the time with you?
Yes.
And talk to you?
Yes.
Talked about your life and about things you're doing to help yourself, health-wise?
Yes.
He knew your wife?
Yes.
That was unusual for a doctor, wasn't it, in your experience?
Yes.
Now, your heart attack was when?
March 9th, 2009.
Where were you when you had your heart attack?
I was at work.
How are you now?
My heart is in good shape. My cardiologist that I currently see recently thought there might be a problem with my stress test, so he did an angio and explored my heart, and he was about giddy when he was done. He was very excited how my stents have held up, the lack of buildup in my arteries, etc. Installed properly, and there was no buildup, and they were holding up well.
And your prognosis is pretty good, considering your heart attack?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, you mentioned that the only two things about the voicemail that you found odd was that he said he was leaving on a sabbatical, and you already knew that, right?
Yes.
That's one of them. And that he said your heart was repaired. And,
yes.
Okay. If he had said in his voice message, as you know, I'm leaving on a sabbatical, would you have felt that wasn't strange?
I don't know that I can rightly identify that. At the moment of the phone call, I phoned my wife to express that, hey, I got a return call, and I believe my exact words were, but it was weird. He said this.
Well, you were aware of the sabbatical that he was going to go on, right? You were aware that he was going to go to Great Britain.
Yes.
And you had received a letter,
yes.
Right? And he had actually told you that he was leaving for Great Britain, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, that's all I have. Thank you.
Ms. Chernoff, thank you. Ms. Brazil, redirect.
Nothing. Thank you, Your Honor.
May Mr. Russell be excused, Ms. Brazil?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Chernoff?
Yes, thank you.
Mr. Russell, I want to thank you for your testimony. Sir, please don't discuss your testimony. The fact... You may.
Sorry.
Don't hold yourself to one. If you want to reopen, go ahead.
Mr. Russell, you live in Vegas right now?
Yes, sir.
That's the one. As I was saying, please don't discuss your testimony or the facts of the case with any other witnesses until we finish the trial, and you may step down and you may leave, sir. Thank you.
Your Honor.
You're welcome.